And delegates, I hope you have enjoyed your stay in the Philippines thus far. Please take the time to sample the very best of the Philippine experience. Filipinos are passionate in upholding right over wrong. Liberal democracy and the rule of law have been enrooted in Philippine society for over 100 years. Our national leaders in all the branches of government have traditionally been looked upon as vigilant guardians of democracy and justice, even as the tradition of separation of powers is deeply respected. All components of government at least strive to work in concert towards the common democratic good. Tonight, we celebrate the cooperative spirit taken to greater heights as it involves the vast number of states in the global community. It is the blessing of the current generation that never before have the nations of the world been so interconnected, not only because of technological advances, but more importantly, because of a desire to work within a global framework. It is through international cooperation that we can achieve many fundamental common aspirations, such as peace through law. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, our theme is nothing loftier than the enjoyment of each other's company and presence. We will have some loose food, and good drink, I suppose. And there is also the opportunity for all of us to enjoy this special evening at the palace and later to reminisce about it. With that, we commence the program. First in tonight's program is the introduction to the delegates to this year's Global Forum. Chosen to do the task is most suited to it, for this retired Lady Justice of the Supreme Court has been an indomitable figure in the Philippine judiciary. Graduating from the College of Law of the University of the Philippines, at the top of her class, she placed #1 in the bar examinations with a rating of 93.85%. Beginning her stint in the judiciary as a trial judge, she was promoted as Associate Justice of the Court of Appeals and later as Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, where she served as an exemplar of competence, probity, and integrity for 13 years. Since her retirement, she has continued her faithful service to the judiciary and her commitment to the pursuit of judicial excellence as Chancellor of the Philippine Judicial Academy, or PhilJA, which is the education arm of the Supreme Court. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Justice Averpina A. Melencio Herrera.
Thank you very much, President, for that very kind introduction. Your Excellency, President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, Executive Secretary Eduardo Ermita, Speaker de Venecia of the House of Representatives, Your Honors of the Judiciaries, Your Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, our Chief Justice Artemio B. Panganiban, our former Chief Justice Hilario G. Davidia Jr., our development partners, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant evening to one and all. It is my honor and privilege to introduce the star-studded delegates from 33 countries around the globe who are attending the ongoing, timely, and timeless, in the words of Justice Puno, Global Forum on Liberty and Prosperity. Please rise as I mention your country and your delegation. Let me start with Albania. The Honorable Justice Fatos Lulo of the Supreme Court. From the Apostolic Nunciature and Embassy of the Holy See, His Excellency Archbishop Fernando Filoni, Apostolic Nuncio. From Argentina, Honorable Judge Santiago Otamendi of the Supreme Court, and also representing the Centro de Estudios de Justicia de las Américas, also known as From Armenia, the Honorable Chairman Arman Tumian of the Chamber of Civil Issues of the Court of Cassation. From Australia, the Honorable Justice Susan Coralie Kenny of the Federal Court. From Bangladesh, His Excellency Ambassador Kwashem. From Bhutan, the Honorable Justice Shireen Wangchuk of the Royal Court of Justice. From Canada, the delegation is led by the Honorable Chief Justice Beverly McLachlin of the Supreme Court. With her is His Excellency Ambassador Peter Sutherland. From China, Honorable Justice Li Ke of the Supreme People's Court. From the Commonwealth of Independent States representing Belarus, the Honorable Judge Salvi Bayem Sabit of the Economic Court. From the Commonwealth of Northern Marianas Islands, the Honorable Justice John A. Manglon. From Egypt, Deputy Chief Justice Dr. Adel Omar Sharif of the Supreme Constitutional Court. From Guam, the delegation is led by Honorable Justice Philip Carbulido of the Supreme Court. From Guatemala, Honorable Justice Thelma Esperanza Aldana. From India, Professor Vijayakumar of the National Law School of India. From Jordan, Honorable Judge Arar Rais of the Supreme Court. From Malaysia, the delegation is led by Dr. Chung Chui, Professor of Law at the University of Malaya. From Mexico, Her Excellency Heredira Araceli Campos. From Namibia, Councillor Natasha Washington of the Law Society of Namibia. From Nepal, led by the Honorable Chief Justice Dilip Kumar Paudel of the Supreme Court. From the Netherlands, His Excellency Ambassador Robert A. Borges. From New Zealand, Honorable Justice Edward T. Dury of the Supreme Court. From the Russian Federation, led by the Honorable Chairman Anton Ivanov of the Supreme Arbitration Court. with us earlier. He was with us since the first day of the Global Forum, but he had to leave early for home. From Singapore, led by Honorable Justice Chu Han Tak of the Supreme Court. From the Slovak Republic, Honorable Milan Karabin, President of the Supreme Court. From South Korea, His Excellency Ambassador Hong Jong-ki. From Spain, President Fernando Pombo of the International Bar Association. With His Excellency Ignacio Salas of the Embassy of Spain. From Thailand, led by the Honorable Presiding Justice Sobchok Sukarongna of the Supreme Court. From the United States of America, Ms. Diana Penelope Kempi, President of the ABA Task Force on the Rule of Law. From the Bolivian Republic of Venezuela, Charge d'Affaires, Mr. Manuel Perez Iturbe. And now may I call on the Philippine delegation to please rise and be recognized. The delegation is composed of the judicial hierarchy, starting from the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeals, the Sandigan Bayan, and the Court of Tax Appeals, and the trial courts. At this point, we would also like to acknowledge the presence of our development partners, the American Bar Association, ABA Asia. The Asian Development Bank, the Canadian International Development Agency, or CIDA, we are also privileged to have with us the honorable members of the Executive Department, led by Secretary Eduardo Ermita. The members of the Legislative Department, led by Speaker Jose de Venecia. Finally, may I also acknowledge the presence of the members of the Academy, of Civil Society, of Business Chambers, and of Bar Associations. Presentation, Madam President, we would like to thank all delegates for making this global forum an extra special conference by their invaluable attendance and active participation. Above all, we thank you, Madam President, for this cordial invitation, for your heartwarming hospitality, for your precious time, and for what we are sure will be a dinner to remember for all time. Thank you very much.
Next to take the lectern is an outstanding gentleman who first made his mark in the military establishment, thereafter in the legislative branch, and presently in the executive branch. The only branch of government he has not served in is the judiciary, though by this time he knows more public law than the ordinary lawyer. In fact, Because of his position, his name often appears as party in our Supreme Court reports. There are 3 reasons to my mind. He has not been appointed as magistrate. I will disclose them to you in private if you are interested. A graduate of the Philippine Military Academy and a medal officer, General Ermita served in the Vietnam War and camped his military career as Vice Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Drawing on his expertise on civilian affairs while in the military, he ran for a seat in Congress, where he served with distinction for 3 consecutive terms. I've had the privilege to serve with him in the last 2 of my own 3 terms in the lower house. He rejoined the executive branch, where he has shown with characteristic efficiency and excellence. First as Secretary of National Defense and presently as Executive Secretary. So now we call on Executive Secretary Eduardo Ermita to introduce his competent, dedicated, and hard-working chief, who is our official host for tonight's affair. Secretary Ermita.